Good morning, ladies and gents. Danny Stewart here for BassJapanDirect.com with another naked sound review. Hope you're doing well today, and today's bass is this gorgeous Xotic XJ-1T 5. So Xotic jazz basses are very unique in that they have this wonderful wood encased pickup design with the little ridges on the top for the thumb to rest. I personally don't use it because I use more of a floating thumb when I play 5-string. But yeah, it's it's a perfect instrument. It's high end. So it's up there with the likes of your Moon, with the likes of Atelier Z or Dragonfly, and similar price ranges too. And as you can hear, the low B is phenomenal. Wow. Yeah, phenomenal low B. Scale on this is 34 inches, and this is known as the vintage version because it has traditional spec, like an older body, like a vintage white pickguard, older body in vintage white, this one, and rosewood fretboard on a maple one-piece neck. So the other models have maple fretboard and maple neck, and they have the fisheye inlays. This one doesn't have fisheye inlays. It has luminlay dots, which look a lot like, when it's daytime, they look a lot like clay or bone. They look a lot like bone inlays, but they're actually luminlay. Side dots as well are luminlay too, and they're a slightly bigger size than you would normally get. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful, perfect craftsmanship. You've got high-end hip-shot hardware on this one. The hip-shot ultralight tuning pegs and the A-type bridge on this one. Very, very good stuff indeed. Circuit-wise, you've got active and passive modes. On the front volume, you've got your active-passive switch. So, just as an example, and this is your master tone, that's your rear volume there. So this is active. It's passive. Right, so that's amazing. And the tone works in both modes. It's a master tone. So similar to a Dragonfly jazz bass, you've got similar capabilities in terms of your sound being very versatile. And then you've got your 3-band EQ, bass, mid, treble. Nice little knobs here, which are sort of slightly countersunk. All the knobs are countersunk, which is a really nice little feature. So let's take a listen to a more scoop sound. We'll take the mid out of the equation and see how that sounds. Everything else styled up. Add the mid notch. And these are steel strings, these ones, regular gauge. So yeah, a huge amount of versatility there. Not only that, you've also got, this is a mid-frequency switch here. So when you've got the mid fully engaged, if you flip this switch up, it boosts at about 400, I think, 400 kilohertz, I think. And then down it's like 600. So 600, 400. Gets warmer, right? And that's especially when we're on the rear pickup. That's especially prominent. So let's go on the rear pickup with everything dialed up. Wow, God. And then, of course, you've got your master tone that you can bring in and out with that. So that's everything dialed up on the preamp. Oh, by the way, over here you have a bright switch. Listen to the difference. It's very subtle, but it gives it a little bit of lift in the higher frequencies. Mid switch down, mid switch up, warmer. So there's a huge amount of tonal variety on there. And then let's go into passive mode with the tone up. It's still very nice, isn't it? But you know, so even the passive mode is very nice, of course. But you get the real nitty-gritty when you go into active mode. Let's go on the front pickup now. Tone down. Let's have the treble rolled off and put the mid switch in the 400 position. Bloody hell, that's yeah, I mean, this is it's beautiful, beautiful, plays beautifully. Sounds pretty good for slap as well. Yeah, let's take the let's bring the treble in to that, and let's go scoop the front pickup for some slap. Just see how that sounds. Wow, let's take the mid completely out. So yeah, that's wonderful, you know. just, you know, it's just as good as any of your Dragonfly, your Atelier Z. You know, they're all a bit different. They all have their unique selling points, but they're all absolutely excellent. So it's really down to what you prefer. I think the unique selling points on the Xotic, instead of having, you know, yeah, they've got two switches here. They've got a bright switch and a mid switch. They've got their own preamp, which is maybe unique to them. I mean, I find it's not that much different from the Dragonfly in terms of the tonal capabilities. The pickups are unique in that, you know, they are wooden cased, and they have this thumb rest part built into them. It's a very nice idea, and it looks wonderful as well. So that's great, and I really like the fact that the dials are partially countersunk. It's very stylish looking, and the two-tone dials as well. Tiny little details like the screws in the chrome dials are actually gold. Yeah, it's just a little tiny detail, a little bit of contrast. You know, I think little touches like that are nice, aren't they? But you know, when you compare this kind of grade of bass, you know, to say mid-market stuff, it is different. It's definitely different. You know, I've got a bunch of stuff. Like yesterday, I did a review on some entry-level Bacchus, which, yeah, I mean, they're good. They're very, very good for the money, amazing. But the difference between those and this, or a Dragonfly, for example, it's very, very clear once you get them into your hands and play them. I mean, yeah, it's you know, the B string for starters is definitely a lot more focused, and just the even playability up and down the fretboard is also and the accuracy of the fretwork and intonation and all the rest of that, and the you know, all the finishing touches as well, how well the frets are kind of rounded over and all that sort of stuff. These little tiny details. Yeah, it's a different league, isn't it? Really. So there you go, guys. That'll do it. This is you've been watching the Xotic XJ-1T 5 vintage, and this one is immediately available for sale in our Reverb store, and also our Digimart store, eBay, and our direct website store as well. I thoroughly recommend using direct because it's cheaper. We don't have to pay any of the you know, the commission fees to the platforms, so it's cheaper. We list cheaper on there.